provide, or hopefully provide, some real answers to some real postural issues.
The pectoralis major is the most superficial chest muscle, and it's the first muscle you come to when you palpate your client. We want what's underneath. What's underneath is the pectoralis minor. That is the main culprit.
The pectoralis minor lays deep to the pectoralis major, and its origin is the third, fourth, and fifth rib, and the insertion is the coracoid process of the scapula.
Okay, kids, don't let this happen to you. After 35 years of massaging, my shoulders are forward. Now, here's the thing. Do you see how the acromion process is well forward? What's happening is the pectoralis minor is pulling that shoulder forward, because here's the action of the pectoralis minor. Shoulder depression, scapula abduction, and anterior shoulder tilt. So as we go through our daily lives, what we're doing, we have our hands in front, maybe we're looking at our cell phones, we're pulled forward. That is the action of the pectoralis minor. So what's happening here is lengthening, posterior lengthening of the trapezius muscle, upper traps. You have lengthening going on in back with the rhomboids, trapezius, shortening pectoralis major, a little bit, yes, inserts onto the humerus, but especially pectoralis minor. This is the culprit. Remember that the origin is the third, fourth, and fifth rib, and insertion on the coracoid process. Coracoid process, you want to find it? Just go center right here, there it is. Right between the humerus and the rib cage. You have to go deep, out. And depress your shoulder forward. Oh, I felt the coracoid process come right out. There we go. Important landmark for you to know, because not only the muscle belly, but you also want to palpate that coracoid process. So I'm going to show you a couple of practical ways that you can actually palpate this muscle. So one of the ways you can palpate pectoralis minor is, here's the major, minor is lying right underneath. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my fingers just inferior to the clavicle, press deep into the pectoralis major tissues. There you go. How's that, Sean? Is that sensitive? Okay. If I go a little further inferior, I'm still getting pectoralis minor. But remember that even on the biggest person, these muscles really don't get really thick enough, even on the biggest person. So you can definitely palpate pectoralis minor. There you go. Now, a more direct way, and actually a way that's my preference, that I actually enjoy, I don't know why, but I do. I like going under the pectoralis major and palpating the pectoralis minor directly. So what I'm going to do, is I have Sean here, because we can actually see the outline of the pectoralis major. We're going to get the outline first. There we go, pectoralis major. There we go. Origin is on the sternum, clavicle, insertion on the humerus. I'm going to find where my landmark is. My fingers are going to go right along the rib cage. Might be less sensitive there, Sean. There we go. And I'm going to palpate the tissues directly of the pectoralis minor. There we go. My fingers are actually right here. Notice I'm inferior to the axillary, and my fingers are angling towards his chin. Okay. Just hold them there. Now remember, you're a massage therapist, so you want to be nice. You want to be nice to Sean. Usually physical therapists and physicians will just say, take a deep breath, and they'll go right in. But take your time with this. I believe I'm there. Okay, Sean, what I want you to do is do the action of the pectoralis minor. You can go ahead and depress your shoulder. So bring your shoulder straight down. Good. There, I felt it. Did you feel the tissue there? Mm-hmm. Awesome. Gently pull out. Now, a couple of things. You want to be careful of the brachial plexus. Brachial plexus is just a network of nerves in the area. You may compress them if you're in the wrong area. So when I say wrong area, if I'm aiming, sorry, I'm going to go to your armpit, Sean. If I'm aiming up in this direction, well, no, not getting the right area. You're probably going to compress that brachial plexus. Be inferior. Lift up that pectoralis muscle. What's also helpful is if I have Sean reach to the ceiling. Go ahead and press. There you go. See how that muscle lifts right up? And I'm going right in. What I'm going to feel is just a strand of muscle in front of my fingers. And that's when you have them do the action. Be very descriptive so that they are actually contracting that pectoralis minor muscle. Great. Now I'm going to show you in sideline. So now we have Sean in sideline. Now what I'm going to do is, same thing, going to locate the pectoralis muscle, which by the way, this is probably a little bit better for women because the breast tissue comes to the side, and I am going to show you draping for women, by the way. Might be a little more difficult for you. I found pectoralis muscle. I'm just going to bring it on over here, Sean. And go right in. Now, deceptively, you're not going to feel as if you're that deep, but you are, because gravity's working for you. You can go ahead and bring it on the floor, Sean, so they can see. Hopefully. I use this hand as a guide, pulling the pectoralis muscle over, pectoralis major. Okay, Sean, if you can, go ahead and do the shoulder depression. You can roll your shoulder forward. There you go. Right there. What I'm getting is the action, and I have the muscle belly of the pectoralis minor. Have Sean, even though he's a male, okay, I would have him draped because it's usually the policy of any spa you work at or probably any institution you work at. You would like to do that. But let's say you need to do that, or maybe you're working with a female. Now, being Sean, this is what I would do. No big deal. I'm not so worried about what's going to happen laterally. But with women, yeah, okay. Well, we have the breast tissue here. Let me show you how you can drape, because it can be a little tricky. You can have Sean, if it's her policy, hold on to the drape, and then you can go in. Another thing you can do, which I don't encourage you to do, as long as the sheet is thin enough, you can go in with the sheet. But here's the thing. Don't let that sheet gather. Also, make sure the sheet is thin and know your landmarks, because you do not want to go into the armpit area. There we go. Very nice. Yeah. And you can use this in case somebody is a little bit shy or you're just a little concerned about possible exposure. All right. Now, show you the draping and sideline. Go ahead, Sean, and face our lovely camera person over here. Now, one of the things you do want to do, and want to be nice to Sean. Sean, do you need anything underneath your head? Or are you okay?
I'm okay.
Oh, he's okay? Okay. Well, normally what I would do is take a cushion and elevate his head, but he's fine for demo purposes. Very nice. Knees are lined up with the hip. He's going to the queue for a short period of time, if I had it my way. Okay. So what we're going to do, I'm going to show you draping. Now, what I want to do is have him bring his arm in front, or her arm in front. Use this hand superior to the breast tissue to guide you. There you go. You can go right in. If you have any doubt as to your landmark, that doesn't look like probably that I'm that deep, but I actually am. Does it feel like I'm underneath your pectoralis major?
Yes.
Sean? Okay, great. Sean, what I want you to do is reach for the wall in front of you. There we go. Brought it right up, and I'm going right in. Very nice. You can relax your arm. Great. Gone in a little bit more. Awesome. Now go ahead and roll your shoulder forward. Great. And depress your shoulder as well. There we go. I felt the muscle contract. Now what you can also do, know your landmarks. Bring the sheet in with you. Now here again, be comfortable with your landmarks. Common errors when you locate the pectoralis minor. Running into the rib cage. No, we do not want to run into the rib cage. That's what will happen. You want to contour around the rib cage and lift that muscle right on up. Very common error. And another common error, number 2, is going into the armpit. You want medial and angling towards the chin. After you palpate the pectoralis minor, as with any muscle, I'm going to be nice to Sean because Sean's been really good and Sean's been great with me being my model here. I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of stretching with him. Bring the arm back. Now remember, pectoralis minor rolls the shoulder forward, abducts the scapula, and it also depresses the shoulder. So I'm going to do the exact opposite, depending on his range of motion. How's that, Sean? Is that good?
Okay.
Yeah, it could be something as simple as this. Range of motion depends on the person. Sean has range of motion. I can do this. And I'm stretching him like a rubber band. Tension, heel of my hand on the pectoralis major. Going in that direction. So you get the compression, otherwise I'd slip. So I have enough compression on him that I'm not going to slip. And then tension in the opposite direction.
Okay. As
I'm applying tension towards me. Here's how I stretch Sean into the sideline. Is that okay, Sean? Okay. Here again, be sensitive to their range of motion. My hand is going to support his upper thoracic area. I'm pressed right between the shoulder blades. There we go. And I'm going to pull tension back towards me. Here again, go with somebody's range of motion. If I bring the arm back, are you okay, Sean? Mm-hmm. Notice how my hand is keeping him from falling backwards. I just want to apply enough tension coming back towards this wall. That way. Go to his end point. And then hold. We could do a mess, but that's another video. Okay, supine. Locate that lateral border of the pectoralis major, going right under. There we go. Now, I'm actually lifting that pectoralis major right up. My fingers are right here. Okay, Sean, if you can, go ahead and roll your shoulders forward and depress your shoulder. There you go. Do you feel the pectoralis minor in there?
I do.
You do? You do?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, great. Yeah, I feel it. What it feels like is it feels like a strand of string right in front of my finger. Okay, what I'm doing is I'm taking that pectoralis, here again, if it's draping for a woman, and going right into around the side of the rib cage. Follow the contour of the rib cage and come right down. Now, since Sean is not a female, I'm just going to open this up and show you. There's the landmark exactly where I am. It may not look like I'm as deep, but I am. Notice I'm inferior to the armpit or the axillary area and angling right towards his chin. So Sean, what I want you to do is roll your shoulder forwards if you're shrugging your shoulder. There we go. Awesome. What that's doing is that is contracting the pectoralis minor. It's bringing that coracoid process that I showed on Skeleton Bobby earlier. And it's rolling that shoulder forward and bringing that coracoid process anterior.
Thank you so much for joining us. If you like what you saw, please hit the subscribe button and we'll have more videos ready for you.